Ever heard of winning the lottery at the worst possible moment? These people prayed to win the lottery and won. Get ready for stories that show sometimes luck arrives when it's least expected. Let's begin. Number 10. Woman wins lottery after son prayed. Imagine this. You pray for a miracle, and the next day, money rains down. That's exactly what happened to Gloria Bentivegna, a kind-hearted mom from Long Island, back in 2011. Gloria, a true believer, wished for one thing most of all, for her son Sal to find his way back to church. One Easter Sunday, Gloria poured her heart out in prayer, hoping Sal would reconnect with his faith. The very next day, the family went on a trip to Atlantic City, all glitz and glamour with its casinos. Gloria wasn't having much luck at the slot machines. Sal, seeing his mom's frown, decided to tease her a bit. "Hey Mom," he said with a laugh, "why don't you pray to your God for a cool $1,000,000? Gloria wouldn't dream of using prayer for something like winning the lottery, but something strange happened. Sal, who wasn't much of a church-goer himself, surprised everyone by making a funny prayer of his own. He said right there at the slot machines, "God, I don't know if you're real or not, but if you are, please let my mother win $1,000,000. The next day, things took an unbelievable turn. Gloria went to a local church for a charity auction. They were selling these bundles of lottery tickets, all put together like a little lotto tree. Gloria thought, why not, and bought one. And guess what? One of those tickets, a weird-sounding Sweet Million, was a winner. Now, it wasn't a giant pile of cash all at once, but it was pretty amazing. 50 grand every year for the next 20 years. That's a lot of money, especially after taxes. Sal was floored. The chance of winning was like finding a four-leaf clover. He couldn't help but feel that his goofy prayer, along with his mom's unshakable faith, had something to do with it all. This has gotta be a sign from above, he admitted, starting to think maybe there was something to this religion thing after all. Well, Gloria, tears welling up in her eyes, called it a double miracle. A miracle for their finances, and a miracle for Sal's newfound interest in faith. Maybe prayers really do work in strange and wonderful ways. Number 9. SEPTA 48 lottery winner prayed for a win. Hold on to your hats, lottery fans. Back in 2011, a group of SEPTA workers, the SEPTA 48, finally claimed their massive $172.7 million jackpot. But this story isn't any typical lottery win story. It has heart, humor, and a sprinkle of the unexpected. One of the winners, Larry Green, got emotional as he shared his story. Turns out Larry, a dancing whiz who met his wife on the dance floor, had a reason to celebrate more than just the money. His wife, who had always dreamed of hitting the lottery, sadly passed away a year before the winning draw. But Larry wasn't alone in his grief. His sister-in-law, on the day of the drawing itself, offered a heartfelt prayer for Larry's wife, including a plea for a lottery win. "I prayed for a lottery win," Larry admitted, his voice thick with emotion. "I never doubted the power of prayer, and that's it." Talk about a twist of fate. The SEPTA 48 weren't just lucky with one ticket. They were a tight-knit group who had been pooling their money and buying lottery tickets together, some for years. Now, with their incredible win, they decided to take a lump sum, each walking away with a cool $2.2 million. That's a pretty sweet way to reward years of loyalty and teamwork. This story is a reminder that sometimes good things do come to those who wait, pray, and maybe even know their way around a waltz. Number 8. El Paso's Millionaire says he prayed to God. Forget rags to riches. This is prayers to paychecks. Sergio Gonzalez Salcido played from time to time, but $1 million? Never in his wildest dreams. Life had thrown him a curveball. His business was struggling after the pandemic, and bills were piling up. Feeling lost, Sergio did what many folks do. He turned to prayer. He asked for a little help, a chance to get back on his feet. Little did he know, his prayers were about to be answered in a big way. It all happened at his local Albertsons grocery store. Sergio grabbed a Texas lottery scratch-off ticket, the kind with a chance to win $1 million. He scratched away the silver coating, revealing the numbers underneath, and his heart almost stopped. It was a perfect match, a winning Golden Riches jackpot worth a cool $1 million. "I was overcome with so much emotion," Sergio said later. He wasted no time calling his wife with the amazing news. "We can finally pay off the house," he exclaimed, relief washing over him. But Sergio wasn't just thinking about himself. He'd seen his business struggle, and the pandemic had taken a big bite out of his income. Now, with this windfall, he could finally pay off those pesky debts and get his business back on track. But Sergio's generosity didn't stop there. He planned to donate some of his winnings to a worthy cause, then sock away the rest for a secure future. Sergio prayed for a way out, and the lottery gods listened, giving him the chance to rebuild his life and help others along the way. Number 7. How his prayers won him the lottery. Buckle up for a story that combines faith, family, and the fast lane. Oswaldo Negri Jr., a Brazilian racing champion, wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. At 8 years old, glued to the TV screen watching a go-kart race, Oswaldo knew that's what he wanted to do with his life. But his parents weren't exactly thrilled. Too expensive, they said. Little Oswaldo, however, wasn't one to give up easily. He did what any kid raised in a religious household would do. He prayed. And not just any prayer, a prayer specifically aimed at winning the lottery. Enough money to fuel his racing dreams. Here's the crazy part. 2 weeks later, his dad actually won the lottery. Fast forward to adulthood, Oswaldo's racing career took him across the globe. He raced in Formula 3 championships and even had his sights set on Formula 1, the pinnacle of motorsport. But sometimes life throws curveballs. Despite his talent and dedication, the path to F1 remained closed. Dejected, Oswaldo thought his dreams were dashed. But Oswaldo isn't one to dwell on the negatives. He took his work ethic and passion to the US racing scene, eventually winning the prestigious Daytona race in 2012. The feeling of victory, the culmination of years of hard work, was something he'd never forget. Today, at 59, Oswaldo is still racing, driven by his love for the sport and the thrill of competition. He finds inspiration in his family, even passing on his knowledge and experience to his nephew, who's just starting out at 9 years old, the same age Oswaldo himself began. Oswaldo's story is a reminder that life doesn't always go according to plan, but with dedication, a positive attitude, and maybe a sprinkle of prayer, you can still achieve great things. And even if you don't win every race, the journey itself can be incredibly rewarding. Number 6. Roxbury woman hits lottery jackpot. Back in 2019, a woman named Wanda from Ledgewood, New Jersey, had an experience that left everyone wondering, was it pure luck or the power of prayer? Wanda, a regular lottery player who liked to pick up tickets with spare change lying around, decided to try her luck again. But this time, before turning on the TV for the Pick 6 drawing, she did something different. She prayed. She prayed a lot, hoping one of her tickets would be the big winner. And guess what? As the numbers were drawn, Wanda watched in disbelief as each number matched the ones on her Quick Pick ticket. One by one, the winning combination unfolded on the screen, mirroring the numbers in her hand. At first, Wanda couldn't believe her eyes. Was this really happening? She grabbed her computer, rushed to the lottery website, and double-checked the numbers. There it was, in black and white, a confirmed jackpot winner. Those many prayers were answered, the lottery officials declared. It wasn't long before Wanda's daughter arrived home, only to find her mom with a strange expression on her face. Worried about bad news, the daughter's fear quickly vanished when Wanda announced, "We won the big one." They still couldn't quite believe it, so they both raced to their usual store to validate the winning ticket. The next day, Wanda, along with her daughter and son, headed straight to lottery headquarters to claim her prize, a cool $4 million. Wanda's story became a local sensation. Was it pure luck, or did her heartfelt prayers influence the lottery gods? Whatever the reason, Wanda's win is a reminder that sometimes a little faith and a whole lot of hope can lead to a life-changing twist of fate. Number 5. Cancer patient prayed and won $1.3 billion lottery. Cheng, a 46-year-old immigrant from Laos who came to America in 1994, had been battling cancer since 2016. It was a tough fight. He worked in a factory building parts for airplanes, but the treatments took their toll. Just a week before the big win, he sat in a chair hooked up to a machine, getting another round of chemo. Despite the struggle, Cheng held on to hope. He had a family, young kids who needed him. That's why when things got tough, he did what many folks do. He turned to prayer. But Cheng didn't just ask for a miracle cure. He had something specific in mind. "God," he prayed, "my kids are young, and I'm not that healthy. Please help me." Well, Cheng wasn't new to the lottery game. He'd been playing for years, often splitting tickets with his friend Liza Chow. They usually tossed $200 into the pot together, hoping for a lucky break. Cheng even had a little ritual. He'd write down the Powerball numbers on a piece of paper and keep it under his pillow at night. Maybe it was a lucky charm, maybe just a way to focus on something positive. This time, though, something incredible happened. The Powerball drawing rolled around on April 6th, and when the numbers popped up on the screen, Cheng's heart almost stopped. They were the exact same numbers he'd tucked under his pillow. Suddenly, Cheng wasn't just holding a scrap of paper. He and Liza were holding the winning ticket to a mind-blowing $1.3 billion jackpot. It was the fourth largest Powerball win ever, and it landed right in Cheng's lap, or rather under his pillow. The news hit Cheng like a double dose of good fortune. Relief washed over him. Now his family would be taken care of no matter what happened with his health. Well, Cheng wasn't asking for $1 million and a fancy car. He was praying for a way to secure his family's future. The lottery win might not have cured his illness, but it gave him something even more valuable: peace of mind. Number 4. Hearing God's voice gave this woman winning lottery numbers. In 2019, an anonymous lady shared her story online. It all started at church, where she was deeply praying for friends going through tough times. As she prayed, she felt an overwhelming sense of connection, almost like glimpsing their struggles. When she shared these insights with them, it brought immense comfort and joy. Feeling a strong connection to a higher power, the lady hopped in her car and headed home. Here's where things take a surprising turn. With a playful smile, she posed a question to the universe, or perhaps even directly to God. "If you can talk to me," she thought, "what are the winning numbers for the lottery?" Now, the lady wasn't a regular lottery player, but the massive jackpot was hard to ignore. It was more of a curious experiment, a playful test of how a higher power might communicate. Suddenly, a sequence of numbers popped into her head. She chuckled, not truly believing it was the real deal, so she didn't bother buying a ticket. Imagine her shock when the very next day, those exact numbers were announced as the winning lottery combination. Billions of dollars were on the line, and she had the answer right there in her head. The realization struck her in two ways. First, the possibility that she had truly heard a divine message. Second, a wave of guilt washed over her. All that money could have helped countless people. She questioned her decision, wondering if she'd made a terrible mistake. But then, a calming peace settled over her. It felt like a gentle voice, a message from somewhere deep within. "I knew you wouldn't play," it seemed to say. "That's why I gave them to you. I wanted to show you that you can hear my voice." This brought the lady immense peace. While missing out on $1 billion was a funny story in hindsight, it also served as a powerful reminder. True security doesn't come from money. Faith, or perhaps just the interconnectedness of the universe, was her true provider, and that's all she truly needed. Number 3. Man from India won 2.5 crore rupee jackpot. Roshan Singh isn't any average lottery player. This guy from a village in Bathinda, India was in it for the long haul. For over 30 years, since he opened his clothes shop in 1987, Roshan had been buying lottery tickets. Week after week, month after month, he'd try his luck. Most of the time it was just small wins, 100 rupees here, 200 there. But Roshan never gave up hope. He kept believing that his big break was just around the corner. And wouldn't you know it, his belief paid off. In April 2022, Roshan got a life-changing phone call. It was a lottery ticket dealer, and he had some incredible news. Roshan had won the jackpot, a whopping 2.5 crore rupees. That's over $330,000 in the Punjab state Baisakhi bumper lottery. "I always hoped I'd win something someday," Roshan told reporters, "even if it was just a little bit, like 10 lakh rupees. But this was way more than he ever imagined." "It felt like a miracle," Roshan said. "Thanks to God, we won the first prize. We couldn't sleep a wink that night. After taxes, we'll still have around 1.75 crore rupees. It's clear, God heard our prayers." Roshan's story is a reminder that persistence can pay off, even with a bit of luck involved. He didn't win big overnight, but his dedication and belief eventually brought him a life-altering reward. Now, with this windfall, Roshan can finally secure his future and maybe even expand his beloved clothing shop. Number 2. Lucky worshipper believes that tree brought him luck. Bangkok, Thailand is a city that buzzes with life. But tucked away in a quiet corner of the Kunatri Rutaram temple, there's a spot where wishes for good fortune take on a magical twist. Here, the ritual involves reaching out and gently rubbing the bark of this giant dead tree trunk. Why? Because Thais believe this wrinkly giant holds the key to winning a whole bunch of money in the lottery. Thailand is a country that loves its traditions, and a sprinkle of good luck magic goes along with everyday life. Here, luck is super important, and the national lottery is like a giant game everyone loves to play. One lucky visitor, Pakapan Trumano, swears by the tree's magic. He says he's won smaller prizes before, and he thinks the tree gives him a little help when things get tough. "It's like it gives me a little push in the right direction," he says with a smile, holding his latest lottery ticket. Pakapan isn't the only one on the hunt for lottery luck. Thais have a whole bunch of ways to try and improve their chances. Some visit special people who talk to spirits, hoping for advice from the unseen world. Others pay their respects to holy things, hoping for a blessing on their lottery tickets. There's even a cool trick where people melt candle wax and drop it in water at temples, then try to figure out what the shapes mean about the winning numbers. With lottery drawings happening twice a month and the government selling a whopping 90 million tickets each time, it's clear that Thais take winning big very seriously. So whether it's a gentle rub on the ancient tree, a visit to a spirit talker, or some candle wax magic, Thais are all in the same boat when it comes to hoping for a life-changing lottery win. Number 1. Praying mom wins $9 million. In 2007, life had thrown Gloria Aguda a whole bunch of lemons. A single mom of 2 grown sons, she was juggling 2 jobs to keep everything afloat. But things were getting tough. Medical bills piled up, and foreclosure loomed over her house. Feeling desperate, 50-year-old Gloria did what many people do in tough times. She prayed for a miracle. And guess what? That miracle arrived. Gloria matched all 6 numbers in the lotto draw, winning a massive $9 million jackpot. Talk about answered prayers. "My heart was racing like a drum solo," Gloria said, still shaken from the shock. The win meant everything to her and her family. They'd all been working so hard, especially her sons, who were trying to save their house. With tears in her eyes, Gloria shared her plans for the money. First things first, she'd finally pay off her mortgage and clear all those pesky bills. Then she'd use some of the cash to help her extended family, including a brother back home in the Philippines who was struggling with vision problems. But the biggest gift? Funding her son's college education. No more student loan worries for them. Well, Gloria bought the winning ticket at a local Safeway. The store even got a $5,000 bonus for selling the lucky ticket. This story is a reminder that sometimes, when life throws its worst punches, a little bit of faith and a whole lot of luck can turn things around completely. Gloria's prayers were answered, and now she and her family can finally look forward to a brighter future. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love our next one. Don't forget to subscribe to Millionaire Post for more content like this.